Hello and welcome to Table Talk this Wednesday morning. It's Alison Southern here from Melksham Team Ministry. Good to join together again across the airwaves. It's been another time of turmoil and of change. So how are you feeling today? How are you getting your head round the new changes that our Prime Minister introduced last night? That need for us to be more cautious, more careful in order to get on top of the spike that is very much on the rise. Do you remember all those months ago when I started talking from this table, when we had no idea what we were stepping into in terms of this pandemic? We had no idea of treatment plans, whether we would have enough capacity in our hospitals, and what the death toll would be. It was a really, really difficult time, and we were filled with fear and stress and confusion. Are we any different as we go into the second phase? We're certainly more prepared in lots of ways. We have hospitals ready, we have PPE available, and we have maybe more of a sense of what's coming. This morning I was taking communion over at St Barnabas, and the reading over there was about Jesus sending out his disciples to heal, to cure disease and to free people from demons. He sent them all and said, "Take nothing with you, no bag, no money, no tunic, no staff, nothing." And there was something about that reliance on God when you've got nothing else, when all the things we think we know fall away and we are left with nothing. And it's at that point, I think, we stand and we cry out to God, or we seek some understanding of where we find ourselves. When I came back from communion this morning, I was then involved with a Zoom, a meeting that was talking about the well-being of children during this pandemic, how they're coping. And the conversation in the breakout rooms and throughout the chat led us to think about how we're doing as adults. How can we support children in their crisis, if you like, if we are feeling like we're in crisis? We talked about the emotions that Jesus expressed. Jesus was angry when he turned over the table. Jesus was deeply saddened when he wept over Jerusalem and when he wept at the grave of Lazarus. He showed compassion when he raised the widow's son from death so that she wouldn't be on her own. He showed anguish in the Garden of Gethsemane. Heart-rending anguish. All of those emotions that you and I feel on a bit of a roller coaster ride through life, and certainly through this pandemic. Jesus came and knew what it was to feel all those things. But do we recognise those things in ourselves? Do you know what you feel like when you get angry? Do you recognise anger in yourself? Or maybe when you're sad, how does your body respond? Do you sleep more? Do you want to eat constantly? Do you feel like you just want to be on your own? Or do you seek to be surrounded by people? A really important part of our well-being is recognising those different emotions that we go through, how they impact on our bodies and how they impact on how we deal with it. It's so easy to just plough on through, be a bit grumpy, but not actually notice and be able to deal with what's happening in front of us. This time round, as we face a spike, we have got more tools in the toolkit. We've got more understanding of where we're going. And I hope that that will help us. But in amongst that, we've also got more frustration. And now everyone has got an idea about how we should be sorting it. You might be in the, there's nothing to panic about, we need to get on in life and just do it. You might be on the other camp that says, we need to be really cautious, care for each other, be able to shut things down to keep ourselves safe. I don't have the answers. I don't think any of us have the answers. We hope that our government and our scientists will give us the best guess response. But you and I have still got those responsibilities that we had right back in the beginning when all this began, when we were asked to care for one another and to sacrifice for one another. And we're still in that place now. We're not in total lockdown. We're still able to go shopping. We can go to restaurants in the daytime, in the evening. All of those things will make life seem normal-ish. But I want you to think about maybe the disciples that were sent out in this morning's reading over at St. Barnabas to go with nothing and to see how they coped. They coped by supporting one another. They coped by being a part of a community. They went out, and as they healed, they would be fed, they would be given shelter, a bed to sleep in, and occasionally, hopefully, a clean tunic to wear. Whatever it was that they encountered, they did it all trusting that God was with them, that they weren't on their own, and that they would be supported by the people they encountered. That's just what we need to do now. We need to rely on God, bring our prayers to Him, listen when He speaks to us. But really importantly, we need to remember what it is to love our neighbour. We need to remember to pay attention to how we are feeling, the language we're using, the stress that is building, and finding ways to deal with all of those things so that we do least harm to ourselves and to others during difficult times. I'm not underestimating the anguish that people will feel, especially those who are in sectors where jobs are really at risk, where lives are at risk, and when people know that they will be working round the clock again to keep you and I safe. It's going to be a hard time, but it's not a hard time on our own. We have each other, but more important than that, we have God. And we have Jesus, who knew every single emotion you and I could even dream of and lived it. And we have the Holy Spirit, who is with us, guiding us, supporting us, nudging us in the right direction. So pay attention and love one another. As we think about what it is to love our community and support one another, we'll be having our Harvest Festival on the 4th of October over at St. Barnabas Church under a tent. But do bring along gifts of either money or food for the food bank, produce if you've got it from your gardens, but come along and join in that celebration of the care we have for the world and the world that cares for us. If you need more information, give me a call, send me an email, but do get in touch. And if you've got any questions, tonight we've got puzzling questions where Hannah and I will be meeting with a group to discuss tonight. Actually, it's going to be about what happens when you die. So it's thinking about life beyond this world, but also the pain of loss and how you cope with it. if you want to be part of that conversation, send me an email and I'll send you a Zoom address and you can join in that conversation. I'll see you on Sunday at St Michael's at 10:15 and here at the table with a service for you on Sunday morning. And next Wednesday I'll be back again. So take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and God bless.